We continue now at the top of Daf Chesam and Beis in Meseches Nedarim. This is Nedarim Daf 8b. On the previous Amud, a question was asked of Rav Ashi. Let's say a person is excommunicated in his dream, and in that same dream, the excommunication is also undone. So is it considered that the person is excommunicated or not? And Rav Ashi answers, just like it's impossible for grain to grow without straw, so too it's impossible to have a dream that doesn't have some meaningless items in the dream. And the Mefarish says, maybe the undoing of the excommunication was just meaningless, and therefore it's possible that the excommunication was meaningful, and the undoing of it was meaningless, and therefore he is, in fact, in excommunication. And the Gemara continues, Ravina Havale Nidra L'Devisu Ravina, there was a neder that his wife made, and the Mefarish explains, Havale Nidra L'Devisu V'iyu Lo Hefer Lo Bo Bayom Shasham, and he didn't annul that vow on the day that he heard about that vow. So Asal Akame de Rav Ashi, so he came before Rav Ashi with the following question. Amar Le, so Ravina said to Rav Ashi, Baal Ma'u Sheyas Shliach Lecharotas Ishto, is a husband allowed to be a shliach, a messenger, for the regret of his wife, meaning in order to undo this oath of his wife? And the Ran over here explains, Baal Ma'u Sheyas Shliach Lecharotas Ishto, Harambam Zal Sover Beperek Vav Mehilcha Shavuos the Davka Bebaal Hu Di Boilon. The Rambam holds that we're only asking the question by a husband, because the husband is like his wife. But let's say it'd be a different person, not her husband. So then then it's obvious he can't be a shliach. Because really, the person who made the neder needs to be in front of the three experts. We're about to say that there needs to be three experts in this case, so you really have to have the noder there. And the Gemara's question is the husband, does that count on behalf of his wife? Can he be the shliach for this purpose? So again, Amar Le Baal Ma'u Sheyas Shliach Lecharotas Ishto, Ravina asked Rav Ashi, can a husband be a shliach for the regret, meaning to undo the oath of his wife? Amar Le Zetemi Mechanfen in Ilolo. If you have three experts that are gathered, you're doing it in front of a court of three experts, then yes, it will work. But if not, it will not work. And the Gemara says, Shma Minot Los. You see from Rav Ashi's answer three things. Number one, Shma Minot Bal Nasa Shliach Lecharotas Ishto. You see that a husband is in fact allowed to be a shliach for the regret of his wife, again meaning to undo the oath of his wife. Ushma Minot, we also see Lo Shari Lemishrei Nidra Ba'asra Derabe, that if a person is in the area of his Rebbe, he can't undo a neder. Meaning Ravina was in the area, he was in the locale of his Rebbe Rav Ashi, and that's why he went to Rav Ashi. He felt that he himself could not undo the neder. Ushma Minot Ki Mechanfen Shaber Dami. And also the last thing we see is that when you have this group of three experts that are gathered, then it is in fact effective. And the Gemara adds, Veshamta, when it comes to excommunication, afilu ba'asr d'Rabbi, that can be done even in the locale of the person's Rebbe. V'yochin mumcha shari shamta, and also an individual who's an expert can undo an excommunication. You do not need three people to undo an excommunication. And the Gemara continues, Amar Rabbi Shimon bar Zavid, Amar Rabbi Yitzchak bar Tavlo, Amar Rabbi Chia Aricha, Devei Ravacha, Amar Rabbi Zera, Amar Rabbi Lozer, Amar Rabbi Chanina, Amar Rabbi Misha, Mishmei, Rabbi Yehuda bar Eloi. Rabbi Shimon bar Zavid says, that Rabbi Yitzchak bar Tavlo says, that Rabbi Chia the tall from the yeshiva of Ravacha says, that Rabbi Zera says, that Rabbi Lozer says, that Rabbi Chanina says, that Rabbi Misha in the name of Rabbi Yehuda bar Eloi says as follows, Mai dichsiv, what does the pasuk mean when it says, this is a pasuk in Malachi, pasuk says, V'zarcha lachem yirei shemi, and the pasuk goes on to say, Shemesh tzedakah umarpe, talks about the fact that it will shine for you those who fear my name, and the sun will be something that brings this healing. And so the Gemara explains the pasuk. Elu b'nei adam shein yirein lahotzi shem shamayim levatala. First of all, the first part of the pasuk, v'zarcha lachem yirei shemi, that refers to the people who are afraid to say the name of Hashem in vain. And the last part of the pasuk, shemesh tzedakah umarpe, when it says the sun is going to come and heal. Amar Abaya says based on that part of the pasuk, shma minach chirga deyuma masa. You see that the dust of the sunlight, meaning the sunlight is something that is able to bring healing. And the Gemara continues, Upliga Rav Shimon Lakish. And this statement argues on Rav Shimon Lakish. The Amar, because he says, Ein Gehenim li Olam Haba. He says in Olam Haba there is no Gehenim. El HaKadosh Baruch Hu motzi chamim min artika. What actually happens in Olam Haba is that HaKadosh Baruch Hu takes the sun out of its case. Tzadikim misrapin ba, and the tzadikim are healed by the sun. U'rishoyim nidonin ba, and the rishoyim, the wicked, they are judged by the sun. Shenemar, like the pasuk says, V'zorcha lachem yirei shemi shemesh v'gomer. So that pasuk is a reference to the sun in Olam Haba. That's different different than what we said before. Before we were saying our first explanation was this is a reference to the actual sun in Olam Haza in this world, and here this argues. Rav Shimon ben Lakish is saying no, it's a reference to the sun in Olam Haba. And the Gemara continues, V'lo od elishem misadnin, but not only is it something that heals in Olam Haba, but it's also something that is for enjoyment. Shenamar, like the pasuk says, V'tzasem, this is the same pasuk, V'tzasem ufishtem ke'egle marbek, and you shall go forth and you shall leap like the calves at the stall. And the Gemara continues, Varishoim nidonin, but in this sun, it's used to judge the wicked. Shenamar, like the pasuk says, Hine yom ba boer kataner v'gomer. Again, the day is coming; it's burning. That refers to the punishment of the Rishoim through the sun. And we'll continue with this discussion in the next video on Daf Tes Amud Aleph.